60. A newspaper advertisement. Wanted. Young expert horsemen. Good moral character. Ready to endure severe hardships. Their job? To carry the mail 2,000 miles between St. Joe and Sacramento against the impossible barriers of terrain, weather, Indians, and time.
Nobody can help him now.
A relative?
My father.
I'm sorry. What happened?
He was ambushed. He left me the shovel to bury him with.
Well, do you know who or why?
Difference does it make?
I'm sorry, I was just trying to be helpful.
I'm sorry. It's just so terrible. If you really want to help, I'd like a marker for the grave.
Of course.
Over here. That should take care of you, Mr. Clark.
Tangled with a bobcat?
Yeah, the kind that fills in empty graves.
How's that?
Never mind. Is your office open?
Will be in a whisper at you.
I'm Burt Clark, superintendent for the Pony Express. We filed on 160 acres.
Oh, yes. Well, you're a bit late, Mr. Clark.
Yeah, I know. That bobcat.
Sounds like a woman.
Yeah.
I had me a woman once that had put a bobcat to shame. Well, now, what can I do for you?
Well, I told you. I want to claim the land the Pony Express Company filed on.
You don't hear so good, young fella. I told you that you were late. Land's been sold.
Sold to who?
You ever hear the preemption law of 41?
Yeah, of course, I've heard of it.
That's what done it. Land that ain't claimed by closing date can be bought by any interested party. See, that parcel that you folks wanted, that was a real nice buy there. Worth $50 an acre at least. She got it for $1.25 an acre.
Wait a minute. I thought women couldn't preempt land.
They can if they're a widow.
Do you have proof she was a widow?
She swore to it. She had a little one with her, too. A yearling, I'd say.
Now, look, the Pony needs that land for a new station. Now, that widow, if she is a widow, deliberately delayed me so she could buy the land. Now, I call that fraud. If you'll tell me where I can find her, and if she'll sell that land back to me at the same price, I'll agree not to prosecute.
Well, you can't sell preempted land. That's the law.
Is it also the law to knock claimants unconscious and steal their horses so they can't get to the claim office on time?
Now, look here, young fella.
Don't you get sassy with me. If that's what's happened to you, how do you know it was the same woman?
Well, got a horse for sale?
You got any money? Well, now, say, you're just about the luckiest man around. I got the fastest horse I ever rid. Just bought him. He'll cost you plenty, though.
Amigo. Where'd you get this horse?
I bought him, and what business is that of yours?
It's my horse, and he was stolen from me.
You accusing me of horse thieving, mister?
Look, I'm not accusing you of stealing my horse. My name's Clark, Division Superintendent with Pony Express. I was ambushed, and my horse was stolen from me. Well, look at this. P.E. for Pony Express, with a fresh brand over it, making it look like a B.E. Now, what do you know about this?
I give you my word, Mr. Clark, I don't know nothing.
Well, who sold him to you?
Well, he was a young fellow, a stranger. Will was selling mighty cheap for a horse like that. Only cost me $60.
60? Where can I find him?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, he was a stranger. Come to think of it, though, I was over at the Palace last night. That's the local saloon. And I seen this same fella talking to Nettie.
Nettie?
Yeah, Nettie Parnell. She's one of the entertainers. Yeah, she ain't like the rest of them, though. Seems like she doesn't belong over there. She seemed to know this fella real good.
Where can I find her?
She lives over behind the saloon.
Oh, thanks. Oh, if I find her friend, I'll be back for my horse. And you'll get your money.
Oh, Mr. Clark, go ahead and take the horse. I'll take my chances on the 60.
Thanks. You'll get your money back.
Just $50, honey? If Laurie finds out I've been playing poker again, she'll rake me like an outlaw bronc.
Always Laurie. You'd rather take money from your wife and child than let your sister know you disobeyed her orders again.
I hate taking money from you, honey, but what can I do?
You can get away from her before the law catches up with you. Grabbing up land illegally, using assumed names, and then letting drunks file for you. How much longer do you think you can get away with it?
Laura says just a few more quarter sections and that'll be all. I mean, go live on one and everything will be fine.
I can hardly wait to go live next door to Laurie. Take the money, Adam. It's in that cup on the chest there.
I just took $50, Nick. That's all I need.
Yes?
Nettie Parnell, please. Nettie Parnell?
Yes.
May I come in? Oh, my name's Clark, Pony Express. I have reason to believe that one of your friends might have bought a parcel of land that the pony was interested in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And my horse was stolen. Now, the man who sold him was seen talking to you last night.
Well, I talked to a lot of men.
Oh. Uh-huh. Well, just in case you happen to talk to this particular fellow again, tell him that I intend to get that land back, as well as my horse.
Adam, what are you going to do?
Do what Lloyd want me to do.
Well, there'll be another time. I can wait.
in that wagon and get out of here.
Lori, listen to me. It doesn't matter what you think of me, but Adam's about to do something very foolish.
What are you talking about?
That Pony Express man showed up.
Clark?
Yes, that was his name. He said he intends to get all his land back. Adam was going to kill him.
A pony man? Doesn't you realize he'll have 100 riders down on him in hours?
That's why I came for you. Besides, I don't want my husband to become a murderer. Couldn't live with him if that happened.
It might be a blessing. That fool. Where is he now?
He started to follow that man, Clark. It looked like they were heading out to that last claim you filed on.
Well, he used to have some brains in his head before he met you.
What's keeping him? Should have been back here a couple of days ago. Wes, I'm going after Mr. Clark. You'll have to take over here.
This operation, but I never believed it. How many claims have you had this cabin on? The law says you have to build an habitable dwelling on a claim before you can take possession. But I guess it's a lot easier to move one cabin from one claim to another, isn't it? Now, I want some answers from you. Who's the girl who flattened me with that shovel, your wife or your sister? Where can I locate her? How many times have you two pulled this fraud? I guess you know I'm from Julesburg. You know how that town got its name? After a fellow by the name of Jules Rennie, a French-Canadian. But one day he was ambushed, just like you tried to do to me. Got shot up pretty badly. Then when he finally recovered, he went out and he looked for that bushwhacker, and he found him. You know what he did to him? He cut off both of his ears and nailed him to the barn. And for that, they named the town after him. Now, you better start telling me how you took possession of this claim, or maybe they'll name a town after me.
You don't scare me.
Maybe the right ear. One should be enough for anybody.
I like him with two. Now, you go ahead, Mr. Clark, but you'll find out that I can shoot the venom out of a snake's fangs at 20 feet. Now, raise your hands. Adam, get his gun.
You're going to cut off both my ears? Oh, I'm going to blow a hole right through your head.
Adam,
You saw what he was going to do to me?
there's no time for that now.
You mean you ain't even going to kill him?
I'm not going to leave a trail as wide as the river right to us. Now, tie him up and get him on that horse.
Well, I ain't going to do no harm to give him a little headache.
All right, Ed. Tie him up, get him on the horse.
Is he?
No, ain't no fault of mine, though.
Now, why don't you go home?
Now, wait a minute, Lloyd. Ain't no way to talk to my wife.
What you see in that little sage hen's more than I'll ever know. Come on, get him in the house.
see why we don't take him to some lonely spot and bury him.
I told you that's no good. Express people know he was going to the claim office. The clerk there will connect him with us.
Suppose I take him to Canada and dump him. Nobody connect him up there with the Pony Express.
Adam, the last time you didn't get as far as the claim site without getting yourself trussed up. How are you going to get to Canada?
Do you love him that much to be a party to this? You want your child to have a murderer for a father? There's a knife on the table. Get it for me.
What about my husband?
I'll do the best I can for him.
I can't. I'm afraid Adam will go to jail.
It's better than a murder charge.
No, it's got to look like an accident.
You know, Laurie, it's been pretty dry around here for a long time.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, some of the herds are a little spooky.
So?
So, what if one of the herds should stampede?
Adam, I'm actually proud of you.
Any man can get caught in a stampede, Laurie.
Accidentally.
Sure. I saw a man once after a herd ran over him. You couldn't even recognize him.
Now, do you still refuse to help me?
makes it a lot easier.
I'm sorry, Nettie. I shouldn't have got you into all this.
You never were too smart.
Make yourself useful, Donovan. Better hitch up that buckboard. We'll get her to a doctor.
She always hungered for the land.
Donovan, it's kind of ironic. I met her by a grave. When we get back to Julesburg, remind me to write the St. Joe office.
You mean to make a report?
No, to make a request. The next time they want land for a new relay station, they can buy it outright.
Costs a lot more.
Yeah, maybe you couldn't get the exact location you wanted, but in other ways it'd be a lot easier.